Welcome back, YouTube. It is Saiko here, and today we are here with another video in our 30 teams in 30-day series. In today's video, we're going to be tackling the Oklahoma City Thunder. But before we get into the video, if you guys could hit the like button, hit subscribe, and also hit the bell for notifications, I would really appreciate it. And I'm sure Shai Gilgeous-Alexander would appreciate it as well. Speaking of Shai, the Thunder actually signed him to a max deal over the summer. They also traded Al Horford for Kemba Walker and apparently let him go. And they also traded for Derek Favors for some front court depth. Because the Thunder had a million draft picks this year, they drafted a bunch of players from Josh Giddey, Trey Mann, not related to Terrence Mann, by the way, Jeremiah Earl Robinson, and Aaron Wiggins, not to be confused with Andrew Wiggins, because for some reason when I play 2K, A Wiggins translates to Andrew Wiggins to me. As for the starting lineup, compared to the other teams in the series that I've done so far, I actually think that this starting lineup is going to be way easier to predict. So what I think is going to happen in the starting lineup is that they're going to have Theo Maledon at the 1, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the 2, Lou Dort at the 3, Darius Bazley at the 4, and they're probably going to either run Derek Favors or Mike Muscala at the 5. You had Theo Maledon, who was probably one of the worst players in the NBA last year, but you also had Shai, who could potentially be an all-star. Lou Dort was taking an offensive jump last year. Darius Bazley has that Lamar Odom potential, and Derek Favors is just there to be pretty much solid. Derek Favors / Mike Muscala, whoever the heck you want to put there. As for the rookies, Josh Giddey was actually drafted way above where a lot of people thought he was going to go, but he's also probably going to be there. He's going to end up on the Thunder as sort of a playmaker. He might end up taking Theo Maledon's minutes away and probably starting in the place of him instead. Trey Mann might take those backup point guard minutes if Theo Maledon doesn't even look like he's going to improve at all either. God, the more I think about it, I feel like I'm actually taking a lot of shots at Theo Maledon. I'm really sorry, man. Jeremiah Robinson Earl is gonna play backup 4 minutes, and Aaron Wiggins is on a 2-way contract, so we'll see if he gets called up or not. During his rookie year about like 3 years ago, yeah, I know it's kind of random to go back there, but like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was probably one of my favorite rookies coming out of that draft with Lonzo Ball, Markelle, Jason Tatum. He was the guy that I looked at and was like, I really like this guy. I mean, the dude even made it to the playoffs with the Clippers in his first year. I think last year was the only year that he's missed the playoffs. Then again, he's only played for about like 3 seasons. And I mean, if they didn't include him in the Paul George deal, I feel like him being in LA with PG and Kawhi would just be completely unfair. Every year that he's played in the league, he's just made jumps and improvements, whether he was playing with Pat Bev to playing with CP. He's had a lot of good vets around him to kind of really help mature his game, and I've just really loved that about him. I think he's poised to be an all-star this year if the Thunder don't shut him down. And that's the one problem that I have with this Thunder team, or just this Thunder organization in general, is that are they actually going to play their players, or are they going to shut them down right after the All-Star break like they did last year for pretty much all of them? I remember looking at the Thunder team 2 years ago with Chris Paul, and like everyone thought that they were going to tank, but they ended up being like, what, I think they were like the 5th or 6th seed that year. I thought the Thunder's goal at this point was to take all these guys who were making a high amount of money on bad contracts and show that the value of the contract is actually worth it, i.e. Chris Paul and Al Horford, even though they shut Al Horford down pretty much like right after the All-Star break last year. But then again, Al Horford did end up in Boston, so I mean, does it really matter anyways? He kind of got what he wanted, I guess. But anyways, the whole main point that I have about this team is that they like to shut their players down like halfway through the season. And I mean, yeah, I understand that you guys want to tank for your draft pick, but at the same time, you guys have like 5 other draft picks every year from different teams, so you're bound to at least draft something decent within those 5 picks. Even if you don't have like a top 15 pick, you still have a lot of picks that you could transform into something later on. As of right now, I'm going to make the assumption that the Thunder are going to play the players that they paid, because I mean, Shai pretty much signed a max, so I mean, he has to play this season, doesn't he? You got Lou Dort literally shooting threes last year. He went from like a 20% shooter to like a 34% shooter from 3. Yeah, I know it's not league average, but I mean, the guy was making steps in the right direction in his offensive production from 3. So I'm really hoping that he continues to shoot the 3 next season, and that nothing is going to get in his way. Nothing is going to shut him down. He's also built like a fire hydrant, so you know that that dude is durable as hell. Darius Bazley might have taken a step back in terms of his shooting from last year, but I feel like he can contribute in different ways, from his playmaking to his defense, because he is a really tall and long guy, so he should be able to be a disruptor on defense. But he did also score in double digits in the last few games that he did play during the season, so I mean, I think that his offensive production is going to be better this year, and plus if they don't shut him down, or if they just decide to actually like play for a play-in spot or something like that, or try to make the play-in, I think that he could improve definitely. One guy that I actually haven't even mentioned yet on this Thunder team is Alexei Pokushevsky, or Poku as we like to call him. Like, if you look at the last game of the season that the Thunder had against the Clippers, the dude literally shot 6 for 7 from 3. The man was literally on fire. I think he's got a lot of potential to do a lot of things in this league. He's a dude that is just super tall, but the one thing that I do have against him is that he's super skinny. Like, the guy needs to bulk up at least. Plus, I love hearing people say Poku, because I think it's just, I don't know, I think it's just funny. Honestly, as long as the Thunder don't shut Shai down, I think they have the potential to be right below the play-in teams. I don't think that they're gonna be a play-in team, but I mean, if you look at them last year, they were winning a decent amount of games, and then they shut Shai down, and they pretty much lost every game after they shut him down, with the exception of like 2 games. This team is young, which is why I really like them. However, I think my big problem is that if they do shut their team down, they're looking to be like a 12 through 13 seed, 12 through 15th seed, when the potential of this team could probably be like an 11 or 12 seed if they play their guys. I know that they have like 1 million draft picks, and I know that they want all these high draft picks, but if you just think about it, you have so many of them. You don't need a high draft pick every year. If anything, you can always stack those picks and go out there and get yourself a star with the amount of picks that you have. So just please don't tank like you do last year. Just play your guys. That's all I'm asking, OKC. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe like always. And tomorrow, I will see you guys for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Bye, guys.